Hello and welcome back to more coloring with me. I swear this thing is never gonna get finished. Every time I open it up, there's something that I missed. There's like blank spots or something else. I don't know that I don't know why I didn't color that bit and just moved on. But here I am coloring a green horse for whatever reason, standing in front of a green bush. So it's just gonna blend in. I don't. Sometimes I look back on things I do and I don't know why. Like, I think I would make this horse pink looking back. But anyway, doesn't matter. Um, I wish the lighting was better, but I only have one overhead lamp. So you're gonna have to make do. Um, at the time that I recorded this, it was the in the pit of winter, so there was really no daylight for me to work with. Um, anyway, I want to talk about possibly the best movie I've seen this year, and I haven't actually seen that many movies this year. Um, I watched The Bravest Little Toaster, which is not what I wanted to talk about, but I do want to mention it in an honorable mentions. I know a lot of people really liked it because I posted something about it on Instagram, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, I love that movie when I was a kid." I'm like, "Really? You like that?" As I think I would have been horrified when I watched if I had watched it as a kid, but I haven't. Here I am watching it as an adult, and I was just like perplexed and really terrified. Like, I'm not quite sure what the theme was supposed to be, and I don't know what kids would have taken out of it. But yeah, it's like, in case you haven't seen it, and spoilers, it's about a toaster and a bunch of household appliances. Like, there's a lamp, and there's a really annoying electric blanket that cries a lot. There's like a vacuum cleaner. I don't know. They live in a cottage, like a vacation cottage, and the owners haven't been there in years. And so they're like, "Oh, we gotta go find our master." Which turns out to be like a child that used to stay there with his family. And I don't know how they are moving around without being plugged in when they were in the cottage, but once they decide to go journey to find master, like they had to be plugged into a car battery, and it was weird. There's singing frogs, and then there's this really highly traumatic junkyard scene where they end up in a junkyard, and there's all these cars that are gonna go through the crusher, and they're singing about how they're worthless because they can't work anymore. And I was just like, oh, this is like the true horror of capitalism. You work yourself to the bone and then you die. Yeah, it hit in a really disturbing way. And yeah, so I don't know. This was made in the 80s, and I'm not sure what these the kids that watched it at the time would have learned from this. Like, don't be like the cars, or that's just the way life is. Wah wah, sad trombone. Anyway, that's not the movie I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about Everything Everywhere All at Once. Everything, everywhere, every. Oh my God. Everything Everywhere All at Once, starring Michelle Yeoh. And I cannot recommend this movie enough. It's amazing. I actually don't have words. Like, like my mind is blown watching this. It's so, it's so densely layered with so much stuff, and it's absurd. Like, it's just funny because it's absurd. There's hot dog hands. And that was one of the best scenes. Like, oh, I should explain. Okay, so it's about a multiverse. Like Michelle Yeoh learns that she exists in a multiverse where like different versions of her life had happened had she chosen like different paths, and she's able to like access and download those skills into her current self to save the multiverse because there's like one great evil that wants to destroy things. That's the brief overview. And yeah, it's just like some universes are crazy, like people have hot dog hands, which on the surface it sounds so fucking stupid, but it's actually so brilliant. Um, the humor is just like it aligns with everything I believe in as a human. If you've ever seen movies like Being John Malkovich, where it's just absurd. It's kind of in that vein, but it's also lighter than Being John Malkovich. Um, I like it. It has like action, it's comedy, and it's very touching at the same time. Like I think the last two movies I watched, which is Everything Everywhere All at Once and Turning Red, they both have this like mother-daughter bond theme and like generational trauma being explored, and I really appreciate that. Like that's a new thing. Like I haven't seen it done well in the past or even really attempted at all. So, um, I highly recommend this movie. There's a lot of ass kicking and just like ridiculous. Um, there's some fanny pack nunchucks going on, and it's just the whole thing was great. Like, not a single moment where I was like, okay, I'm bored. And my attention span is really short. So, if you have some time, treat yourself. Go see it once or twice. Like, I think I'm gonna go see it again tomorrow. Yeah, yeah, self date.